I just hate how when JD Vance talks about immigration, he talks about it like they're nothing but criminals. And the only thing that's happening when you allow immigrants into the U.S. is fentanyl and crime, murder and shit like that. And I just feel like that's a weak ass talking point. You know what I'm saying? Especially with most of the Republican Party either being immigrants or married to immigrants themselves. Yeah. It's like, where's their fentanyl? Have they murdered anyone? You know what I'm saying? What crimes have they committed? It's not a strong base to stand on.
It's not. But it is also interesting because we have a group chat, and one of the clips that got sent to the group chat was this. I guess they did a focus group in Pittsburgh, right? And one of the comments that this person made was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about voting for Trump because I'm fearing like we're losing like Western civilization, right? Like Trump." What does that even mean? Trump, what it means is white. Look at your shoulders, bro. It means white civilization. That's what it means. It means right. Exactly. You're scary now. Like we're all afraid of you now. Because you have a piece of cloth around your neck. But again, it's like that idea that like, and really Western civilization means white culture and white supremacy. And it's like, oh, we need somebody like Donald Trump to prevent these black people or these Muslims or these Arabs from like taking over. And so, we need a strong man to protect us from this idea. And so you're absolutely right. So then immigrants have to be framed in a way. Okay, Miracle.
No, because like, what is Western civilization and Western values?
Come on, Miracle, break it down. Yeah. Break it
when
down.
we talk about white supremacy and violence, white people kill more people.
Yes.
They kill everybody.
Yes.
Everybody, indiscriminately. White people, we're very discriminatory.
Overdoses, murders, school
shootings. Come on.
Domestic violence, diseases. Like, what are we talking about when we're talking about Western civilization? When we're talking about disrupting people's countries? When we're talking about the fact that there are hundreds of people right now who are dead because of a hurricane because we didn't have correct infrastructure.
Absolutely.
What is Western civilization that we need to protect?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
And this idea that for some reason people being more diverse is a threat to us when really we need to be investing in our communities when we wouldn't have to worry about culture and who people live and worship makes me irate because we have now adopted white supremacist talking points to sit there and say groups of people are a threat to us and our civilization when all our culture does is literally kill other people, invest in death, and then get mad when we have to deal with the remnants of that. Like, we could be teleporting right now. We could live in a world where we have fresh fruit and vegetables on every single street corner, where everyone has like food, water, and shelter. Instead, we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay rent, how we're going to pay bills. There was a report just yesterday that homelessness in Allegheny County among children has like increased, right? What Western values are we protecting?
Miracle X has entered into the chat. Go ahead, Miracle X. Miracle X is like, I charge the white man with being the greatest murderer on the surface. I charge the white man. I'm like, oh, Miracle X is going in.
So I have a question, right?
Yes.
I'm wondering, is it possible to get PTSD from the harm you've caused to other people?
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like they say black people are born post-traumatic slave syndrome. So what are white people born with?
Yeah. So that makes me think about the rhetoric around immigrants. It's like, what if they're thinking about what their forefathers did when they immigrated to the Americas for the first time?
It's also beyond that. It's also really this idea of fear-based living, right? And so it's like if you're taught as a child to be in fear of these other individuals, you're taught like, oh, if you're Israeli, you're taught to fear Palestinians. You're taught that Palestinians want to attack you, want to kill you, want to harm you. And so now you grow up with that ideology, right? Or you're taught that, like, a lot of times in America, like you just mentioned, Trouble, we fear these immigrants. These people coming over here, fear them, right? Remember when Trump came down that escalator, he came down and was like, oh, these Mexicans are rapists. Right. So it's a fear, and he won with a whole fear-based campaign. Fear that person that does not look like you, right? Fear that person that doesn't practice religion the way you do. Fear this person who maybe has a different sexual orientation or identity than you, right? Fear these people. And so when you base it on that, it's like, okay, I forget who it was. It was a celebrity. Oh, it was Will Ferrell. And again, I don't know how this came up in my algorithm, but Will Ferrell was like, I don't understand hating somebody that's transgender. I'm not worried about what that their decision about their sexuality has no impact on me.
None.
Like no impact on me, no impact on my life. It doesn't change it's not like, oh, they're transgender, now my gas is $10.
Right.
Like it has no effect on your life.
But that's the correlation.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So he was like, why would I be afraid of that? But we're taught in America, fear that person. They might come into the bathroom. And when you're in the bathroom and it's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So again,
newsflash, you have gender neutral washrooms in your house.
Exactly. But it's that when we inject fear into everything, and now as we see, like we're on the brink of like World War III, like this October surprise is like surprise, like we're gonna bomb everybody, and we're seeing what's happened with Israel and Lebanon. I'm gonna come to you, trouble, and then we see Iran's response, and we know it's like Iran and Israel being these like powers in the Middle East and this clash happening, and what might happen over here, or will somebody come over here? I mean, that now, like, we have a legitimate reason to be afraid because we see like bombs coming all over the world. I mean, it's just, this is what fear produces, and love produces something different, but we don't have a politic now that leads with love. Everything is fear-based.